Friends of Salem, I welcome you from the Salem Sanctuary, and we're here today to talk with our new bridge pastor, Pastor Scott Jakel. Scott will be joining us on Thursday, and his first Sunday will be this coming Sunday, the 16th. We get a chance to see him at church, in action, and I think you're going to enjoy it. Scott comes to us with a rich history of working in the Lutheran Church, and I'd like to introduce to you right now, Pastor Scott Jakel. Scott?
Well, thank you. Jack had asked if I would share a little bit about myself. I have a few notes just to kind of keep me on track. So I am 58 years old, or 58 years young, and I have been living in St. Paul since last October. I actually live right on Cleveland Avenue between Ford Parkway and Highland Parkway. I love my apartment. It's been a great place for me to adjust to living in the cities. I have two daughters. They are in their mid-20s. One of them got married earlier this summer, and it was a joyous gathering of our family. As a regular person during my days off, but also when I'm working, I try to be active. I like to walk. I like to spend time playing tennis. I usually play once a week with some friends, retired pastors out at Fort Snelling in their big dome. And it's been great to find all kinds of walking paths in the St. Paul area since I've been living in the area. So St. Paul, great place for living. Looking forward to walking around in some of the neighborhood places here in West St. Paul as well. I love to read. I love to meditate. I probably join that group that meets every other Saturday here in the church, the Centering Prayer Group. So I think centering prayer, meditation is a great way to settle my soul, help me to find peace and serenity. I love to both listen to music, but also sing. I enjoy being part of choirs. I enjoy being part of congregations when they're singing great Lutheran music. I love to drink coffee and have conversations with people. It's one of my favorite things to do, just to sit down, ask a few questions like Jack asked me a question like, Scott, tell us about yourself. Well, I like to hear about other people, so I'll be looking forward to hearing about you here, the people at Salem. I grew up on a farm near Wilmer, Minnesota, which is about 100 miles west of here, and have a mom who's still alive. My dad died when he was age 52, and mom remarried, and she actually married my dad's first cousin. And so as I've been figuring out how my second cousin is my stepdad, according to the country western song, I am my own grandpa. So it works out well in our family.
That's good.
Went to school west of Wilmer, Raymond, Minnesota, a town of 400 people, and my class had 27 members in it. So pretty small class, got to know everybody, and I really enjoyed growing up on the farm because I learned all about working hard, caring for animals, and enjoying creation. I graduated from college at Mankato State University with a degree in social work. Although I never practiced being a social worker, I find that being a pastor, you have to use some of those skills that I was given and honed during my training in college on how to be a good pastor by being a good social worker and caring for people's needs. I have an older brother and a younger brother, and my older brother is sort of the guy who's always pushing the envelope, and he's got himself in a little bit of trouble over time. And he's always offered, though, to be a substitute pastor for me if I ever were to get sick some Saturday. He says, Scotty, just give me a call. I will come and show up and preach for you Sunday morning. So he walks around telling everybody, since I've been a pastor for 29 years, I have the healthiest brother of all time. He's never gotten sick on a Saturday night. He's never called me to be his substitute. And it would probably be interesting for people to hear his sermon more than all the sermons that I've done combined. I'm looking forward to working with you, my Salem friends, in that bridge role that Jack mentioned. Bridge pastor usually means you've had an interim before that bridge person comes, and you need somebody to bridge that next space until the new pastor comes. So one of the things I love working about with congregations and transition is just finding ways that we can trust in God, sense how the Spirit is working. So I'm looking forward to being with you. Jack, other questions for me?
Yes, can you tell us a little bit about your interim work? I know you are out at King of Kings,
Yep.
And you've worked in interim work. Tell us a little bit about your interim work.
Sure. So the interim work that I love doing is the type that I'll be doing with Salem, which is walking with a congregation. There's usually a call committee that's active. My job is to encourage the call committee, but to stay the heck out of their way. I don't get involved in the details of it, but I'll be working with Lana and supporting her in the work that she has with her committee. I understand that the call committee was given some names, and they'll have a chance to set up that interview process and get their questions. And I don't know much about the details, but I do understand from talking to someone in our St. Paul Area Synod office that they're ready to go and they're going to be moving forward. So, but the interim work that I love doing is just preaching the gospel. Like I'll do all the things that I do as a normal pastor. I'm not saying I'm not normal, but I'm saying that in lots of abnormal ways, I am more like a midwife than a mother. So I'll be with the Salem people, not in a long-term capacity, but see if God can help, if I can help God give birth to something special happening here at Salem.
You know, I found interesting, I've heard that you've been involved with some choral work. Earlier in your career, you did some singing with some groups. Tell us about that and some missionary work you did with singing.
Sure. I was so privileged as a high schooler and even junior high to have youth directors and faith formation people who just came and they helped nurturing me in the faith. And some of those people were in groups like Campus Crusade for Christ and Youth for Christ. And I got to travel my second year of college. I should have been in college, but instead I was in a van traveling to 39 of the United States. We went to Hong Kong, to South Korea, and to China. And then the summer after my senior year, before I went for my first year of college, I had a chance to travel to Australia. So that opportunity to preach the Word of God, to get the gospel message out in song was so powerful. It really, I think, is the thing that drew me to be a pastor, because I loved sharing God's love with people. I love traveling. I'm looking forward to doing some traveling between my interim opportunities coming forward. But yeah, Jack, that's a great question, because the music that we share when we're gathering as a congregation, the music that I listen to is very inspiring. And then you bring a message of encouragement or admonition, ways that God is reaching us through that message. I just love doing that.
One last question. We talked about reading. You like to read. You read many things from fiction to nonfiction. Tell us a little bit about your reading.
Sure. So one of the things I love doing is helping people in their emotional well-being, mental health-wise. And so probably Brene Brown is one of my favorite authors. I love reading M. Scott Peck. Anything that some author has put out there about how we as human beings can understand the wholeness of our reality, how we think, how we feel, how we act. And so probably Peter Steinke's stuff with family systems, emotional well-being is also something that I love doing. So I'm an avid reader. I love to be a part of groups that let's tackle this book together. Reading, listening, that's what I do.
You're a Tom Clancy reader too. I'm a Clancy reader.
Nice. I love the mystery. I love the action.
The intrigue.
So.
Well, very good. Well, thank you, Scott. Thank you very much for being with us and joining us for this message. And we hope to see you on Sunday. It's going to be a great day. It's going to be a great day for you, we hope. And it's certainly going to be a great day for Salem. See you on Sunday. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Shirley Peterson, and I am a member at Salem. I'm here this morning to tell you about how I met the Lord. I lived in a family with 6 children. We were not church. My father owned a trucking company, of course, on Sunday mornings. He was not taking us to church. Some neighbors moved in, and they had a Bible study. They invited any of us children in the family to come over to the Bible study, of which I went over. And through the Bible study, I was brought to the Lord, and it's a very unusual story. I was going by a church in Columbia Heights, and that is a community Methodist church there. Kept going by it and thought, I am going to go to that church one Sunday. One Sunday morning I woke up, and I knew what time the church was. I woke up and it was like the Lord was calling me. So I got up and I got dressed and I walked down to the church, and I remember walking in the church and looking around, and I walked right down to the front of the church, and sat in a pew. And I imagine a lot of people thought, who is that young lady? I was in the 5th grade, and they probably thought, who is that young lady? Why isn't she in Sunday school? And who's with her? Well, after that first Sunday, being called by the Lord, I continually went. I also became very active in the activities of the church there. And so I feel very blessed that at a very young age I was called by the Lord, and I have walked with the Lord ever since then. Thank you all for listening to my story, and bless all of you, and thank you for being here today.